Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. A lot of people ask me, what does that even mean, physician astrologer? Well, I am a doctor. I am a licensed and practicing obstetrician gynecologist. I catch the star seeds. When I'm not doing that, I'm looking at the stars. So today, guys, I'm going to give you my interpretation of the coming new moon on the 2nd of September. I'm also going to give you guys a guided meditation and activation at the end of this. This is really important right before eclipse season because eclipses are portals. They're energetic portals. And a lot of times you can't take your stuff, your baggage through with you. You have to come through it transformed and anew. And eclipses are very personal energy. So what I thought I would do is review this moon with you, show you how to find it in your chart so you can think about the houses that are involved. And then we'll do the meditation activation at the end. So welcome, guys. This is so exciting. I've been doing a lot of lives recently, collaborating podcasts, and I have some very exciting news. If you didn't watch the live the other night that I did with Desiree from Burning Waters of the Moon, then I'll just tell you right now, I have been invited to discuss my work and what my findings have been with the Archaics podcast. So if those of you who are not familiar with Archaics, I'm going to leave a link below. But essentially, Jason Brashears of Archaics is a chronologist and researcher, very unique individual, an amazing life journey. You sort of get it if you listen to his content. But basically what he's found is that there is some sort of cyclic, intermittent energetic fluctuations that occur about every 138 years. And from the writings of people throughout history, it would suggest that it comes from the sky. And so as an astrologer, an astronomer, somebody who's just fascinated with the sky and with the universe, I reached out to him and I said, I would love to talk to you about the 13 sign astrology and the work that I do. And I've also found some very interesting cyclic patterns. So later this week, I'm going to go live and I'm going to practice with you guys what I want to talk about with Jason. And you guys can give me some feedback. And then, of course, I would love for you all to subscribe to Jason's channel so that on the live that we're doing next week, next Saturday, the 7th at 3 p.m. Central Time, you can join the chat and support me and say hello to Jason's community. These people are brilliant, intelligent people. So I'm excited to do that collaboration, and I hope you all can join me. All right, so summer school is going to end this week as well on the 4th. If you're in the Lunar Nodes class, join us for the live Q&A with myself and Dawn, and then that will close out summer school. And our next set of courses will be Uranus, Chiron, and then Mars. Uranus will be on October 4th. It'll be a seminar series. It's going to be 2 to 3 hours, and it will be with One Sky Astrology, Michael Hartigan. So this guy is like the Yoda of astrology, in my opinion, and has some amazing insights on not just Uranus, but all the planets, but we're going to get Uranus. When I think of Uranus, I think of an astrologer, like a very wise astrologer, a very unique astrologer, and Michael is all of those things. I've collaborated with him before on my channel with the last solar eclipse that we've had, and the discussion about Venus through Virgo. So if you want to check out Michael's work at One Sky Astrology, that is also below. And then, of course, don't forget our friend Desiree, who is actually mentoring with me. She's wants to learn astrology, so I'm taking her on, and we're doing an exchange of service. And I've had several of you that are also interested in mentoring with me, and I think it's an honor that you would think of me as a mentor in your life for this type of work. So I don't really have a program yet. So if you are interested in mentoring with me, what that might mean for you, I'm all about doing an individualized program. So it can be quick and intense. It can be long and deep, however you guys want to do it. So if you're interested in that, email me below. I will leave that as well. All right. What do you say we get into the content? So I want to preface this presentation of the astrology for this new moon with just so you guys know, those of you who are new to my channel, this is not tropical astrology. For me, it is still Leo season. The sun will go into Virgo on the 15th of September and stay there through the entire month of October until November 5th. So that's the astrology that I'm working with. You look up in the sky, you see the stars, that's where the planets are. That's the astrology I do. Now, I know that tropical astrologers also follow the full moon. There's some energy here. So I will give you the degrees, both in tropical and true sidereal constellational astrology, where this new moon is. I think it's very important for everyone to know exactly what house the new moon is in for you. So when I give you the tropical degree and I give you the constellational degree, it's the same spot in the sky. Okay. I'm just taking out that layer of interpretation. We don't need that anymore. We're not going to be burned at the stake or hung for looking at the sky and talking about space. All right. So with that, I've talked enough. I'm going to share my screen and then we will get into this presentation. Okay, guys. So before I get started on the astrology, I want to show you the sky. Okay. This moon is local my time, and I actually have to take it back about an hour and a few minutes here. It's about 9:30 my time on the 2nd. So this might vary for you depending on where in the world you are. But if you were able to dim the light of the sun to about the same brightness as the moon or Venus, and you could see the constellations behind the sun and moon, this is what you would see. You would see Leo, smack dab in the heart, in the belly of Leo, right there, okay? So this is a sun-moon conjunction, essentially in the stars of Leo, the lion. You can see Mercury just stationing direct again, following the sun. And the sun is following Venus. She just entered Virgo on the 23rd of August and will be here until the 2nd of October when the next lunation cycle starts, which will be that solar eclipse, okay? So the next full moon, which is part of this new lunar cycle that we are starting on the 2nd of September, is going to be the lunar eclipse. So we have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse coming within the next 29 days. So that is why I'm including the meditation activation at the end of this, so you guys can clear out any of this pipes, really set your focus, set your intentions. It's going to be a difficult moon to stick with those intentions. I'm telling you, this is a tough one. And when we look at the astrology, I'll explain why. But I want you to just sort of absorb what this might mean. These Leo stars, the sun and moon right there. You have the sun, which is the highest expression of your spiritual self, okay? This is masculine energy. This is father energy. This is the will. This is the light. This is source. And Leo is energy of the king. It's royalty, but it's also the self. It's the heart. It's love. It's innocence. It's children. It's play, and it's enjoyment. Okay, so there's this like true, innocent, authentic expression of the self shining through. All right, and when we reflect on ourself, which is reflection, moon energy, feminine energy, it also magnetizes things to us emotionally. It's about our intuition and our gut feelings. And it's just so appropriate that the moon is in Leo's gut right now. So you have to really like go inward during this cycle. And when I show you the aspects that are being made to sun moon, you will absolutely understand why. Okay. So we have this inner and outer self, the masculine and feminine self, the expressive and the reflective self, a generosity, a spirit of warmth, a spirit of abundance, of the ego, okay, of the id, of the emotion, all in the stars of Leo. This is about us. This cycle is about you. This cycle is about me, okay? It is about the we, but the individual we right now. So I want you guys to just sort of soak in that energy. That is what this next lunation will be about. And then we'll go into where everything is in the chart and what that means. I hope you guys are doing good. This past week before this new moon has been absolutely fantastic. We've had Venus in a grand trine with Pluto and Uranus. Uranus, by the way, will be going will go retrograde the day before this new moon. So then there is another sort of reflecting on the individual self. There's also a rebellious energy here, an energy of freedom and an energy of wanting to break out. So if you have been feeling like you need to tell people what you're discovering, this is why. The sun's been in Leo. The sun will be in Leo until the 15th. So you have at least another 2 weeks of Leo energy. Summer is not over by a long shot, my friends, okay? All right, so you can also see Mercury just stationing direct here, about to complete a transit of Leo, and then Venus in Virgo. Now, over here at the silver gate of our sky, we have almost a mirror of our galactic center. It's actually quite incredible. You've got Orion here underneath of the ecliptic, and you've got Auriga above it. And then to one side, you've got the ecliptic extending to the left and the ecliptic extending to the right. So you can see here Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. And this is the other side of the galaxy. When we look on the opposite side of the sky, we have the galactic center. We have the Milky Way center. We have Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Libra, all of that energy, and Sagittarius forming yet another cross in the sky. So this is a mirror reflection of cosmic energy, the energy that comes from the center of our solar system. This is called the Silver Gate. And this is a gate where souls come in and out. And Mars is sitting right there in that space. Mars will be making this interesting aspect called a Yod, which I'm going to go over before we jump into the chart. And Mars is our warrior. Mars attains enlightenment by achieving the will of the divine, achieving the will of the creator. And he's in this Yod where he's got a quincunx to asteroid Lilith and a quincunx to Pluto. Pluto's retrograde in Sagittarius. Lilith is in Libra. And so the gift is the energy between Lilith and Pluto, which is fantastic energy. And it spans the galactic center, which is also incredibly beautiful. So we'll look at that, what that means. And that's why I've called this talk Light Warrior Activation, because this is your soul, my soul, coming in through this gateway, reflecting the energy of the cosmic galactic center. And we are in a spiritual battle right now. Powers that be, the things that the collective reflects to the outward, is trying to draw us into one drama or the other. And quite frankly, we can't be drawn into anyone else's drama. In Leo stars, with sun, moon there, we are in our own drama. So we need to go inward and do those spiritual battles. And that's what hopefully this meditation will help you see. It will help you take the higher perspective. If you notice, I'm looking at the stars, because there's nothing more humbling than gazing into a vast sky of twinkling lights and planets and asking yourself the pertinent questions. Who am I and why am I here? And what's my purpose? What could I possibly contribute to the vastness of this universe? And indeed, friends, your spirit is here for that very reason, to contribute. Okay, so hopefully you guys are feeling that. I am big time. We have Saturn over here opposing Sun and Moon in the stars of Aquarius in a retrograde fashion. And then here is the galactic center. Do you see this mirror that I was talking about? So you have Sagittarius, Libra, Ophiuchus, and Scorpio. And I don't know, it's almost like a mirror image of the other side of the sky. And you have Lilith over here and Pluto over here, and the two of them form this Yod. And I believe the focal point of it is around Sagittarius, which is the highest spiritual esoteric wisdom, which is, being in the possibly even the going inward to the wisdom of the self, because the access to this place in our cosmic is through ourselves. All right, cool. So I wanted to show you that. Let's get into the chart. Just kidding, I lied. We're going to get into this Yod first. This is going to be, let me draw on here. Yep. So here we're going to have Pluto retrograde. And then Lilith asteroid. And we'll be in Sag over here, Libra. And then we'll have Mars at the Silver Gate. And then we will have the Galactic Center, which is the Golden Gate. If this isn't activating your spiritual warrior, I don't know what is. So what we're going to look at when we get into the chart energy and the other aspects is where exactly is the warring energy going to be taking place? Okay. Is it going to be taking place externally, internally, or are we going to adopt the, the Shaolin monk, the spiritual warrior, the one who is sitting in quiet contemplation? But if you were to approach that warrior with a threat of some sort, that person would be, annihilated as soon as they come into that orb if their intention is harm. So, I don't have any training in any martial arts or anything. It's just something that I envision when I see that energy. So what you've got here is a Pluto-Mars quincunx, which means that there's a subtle tension, but also a subtle opportunity, a subtle genius that's available because you have to square a circle. You basically have to take the energy of Sagittarius and then the energy of the Silver Gate along with Pluto and Mars. This could mean war. This is war. Mars and Pluto together is destruction, but it can also be a rebirth, a constructive. It could be very spiritual, fighting for the truth type of energy, fighting for your own internal truth. So I'm not trying to incite any kind of like actual confrontation. This is all spiritual, what I'm talking about. This is all like what doesn't jive. This doesn't fit here. This doesn't fit here. There's going to be a lot of that because of what we're observing externally as well. And then Mars has a quincunx, a subtle tension, a genius opportunity here with asteroid Lilith. Lilith is our instincts. Lilith is in Libra. She instinctively knows where the harmony and the justice is. And the shadow here, the hard part of having this shadow feminine energy in Libra is that she might feel persecuted. She might feel on trial here for that instinctive knowing. So can you imagine there's just something that you know to be absolutely true. And so you try to speak it to those that would hear you and those that would love you. And then all of a sudden you get shot down. So this could create an energy of just complete angst and self-criticality. So, to have the assistance of the noble spiritual warrior of Mars at the Silver Gate, gazing upon Lilith in Libra, who knows her purpose, who knows her truth instinctively, saying, I'm here to help you. I'm here to show you the way. Okay. And so the skill here is between that Pluto and Lilith energy. That's the sextile, right? So you have, Pluto and Lilith together. Lilith is sort of that combination of shadow Venus and then the feminine side of Pluto. So there's a lot of deep, dark shadow work here. And, this isn't just a regular Yod either, you guys. This is also a Boomerang Yod. So it means that the challenge is to move from the state of action to what the reaction should be, which is smack dab at the Golden Gate. Okay. This is where we open our minds, open our crown chakra and our third eye to the messages coming from the space in the sky, where we associate the energy of ascension. Okay. So this is a level up. The week before this, there's some amazing codes coming through with the Star of David, Merkaba on Friday. You have Moon, Venus, asteroid Lilith, Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, all in this six-pointed, perfect, double grand trine, all sextiles around the chart. So check out the live from Wednesday to get an idea of what that energy was like. That's your upgrade. That should take you to a place where you can handle this Boomerang Yod. This is like what we call fate, or the finger of God, the finger of destiny in astrology. And so we have some internal work to do here in order to fully have that inner and outward, masculine, feminine, receiving and giving energy of sun moon in the gut of Leo. Okay. So that I'll show you this one on a chart. I just wanted you to get the energy of what we're dealing with here. When we look at all, it's a lot. I'm telling you, it's a lot. That's why I'm trying to go slow. We're trying to go through one thing at a time. All right, let's get to the chart. Okay. Sorry, beautiful souls. One more slide. This is the conversion. If you follow tropical and you haven't quite sunk your teeth into constellational astrology yet, I wanted to show you the degrees in a tropical chart where this new moon is happening for you. We'll also look back at this where the focal point of the Yod is, so that if you are looking at your tropical chart, you can find these degrees. It's the same spot in the sky. I am just using constellational. Okay. So it's 11 degrees Virgo and 26 Leo. So if you are a tropical astrology follower or you're a tropical astrologer, 11 degrees of Virgo is where this new moon is happening for you. But we're going to look at a chart where it's actually in 26 degrees of Leo. Okay, so I just wanted to make that point really quick before we get started. If you want to know more about constellational astrology, all the 13 signs, you can go to learn.drdanny.com. I've got some free courses over there to get you started. It's really incredible if you want to dive into this. A lot of people I know that have switched will not go back to tropical because it takes out a whole layer of translation. I am merely translating this for those of you that follow tropical astrology because I want you to get on board with this. I want you to understand the sky. All right, I promise the next slide will be the chart. Okay, here we are. This is the constellational true sky sidereal chart using the midpoint boundaries for the coming new moon on September 2nd. This is the exact time where I live. All right, so the time might be different for you. If you're in a time zone ahead of me, it's going to be an hour ahead. If you're in the time zone behind me, it's going to be an hour behind. If you're on the other side of the planet, it might be 12 or 14 hours. Okay, so at any rate, if you are in central daylight time, it's going to occur at 26 degrees of Leo. And then this, if you were to overlay a tropical wheel on this, this would be the Virgo sign. Okay, so constellation of Leo, Virgo sign. All right, so this opposition, when we were looking at the sky and we were talking about sun moon conjunct, I pointed out to you that Saturn was opposing the sun and the moon. Now, this opposition is approaching within 5 degrees, okay? So the true Saturn-Sun conjunction is still coming. So within the next week or so, you will feel the tension of the balancing energy of Saturn and Sun. But the moon's going to highlight that and say, here we go. So when you have Saturn in Aquarius, this is sort of shadow side. This is an authoritative energy. This is, you must do what we tell you to do, okay? Because everyone is working for the common goal. And of course, we all want to work for the common good and the common goal. But sometimes people in power do not consider everyone's common good or everyone's well-being. And so you really have to sit in this authentic place and decide what you're going to say yes and no to. Because Saturn isn't going to tell you what to do. He's going to let you make your own decisions. So these decisions must be made consciously. Unconscious decisions result in manifestation that you may or may not believe that you manifested, and you can end up in a victim mentality. So what you have is the authoritative energy and the victim energy. And here in Leo, that energy is going to be very flustered and very upset, and very angry that they're not being recognized, that they're not being catered to, that they're not being taken care of. They're going to feel victimized. However, if we stand up in our true power in this energy, then we're going to find out who we really are, who our authentic self is, and we'll be prepared for the energy of the initiation of Virgo, the judgment of Libra, and then the death and rebirth of the galactic center as the sun moves through that in the coming season. Okay? So we have this balancing energy here. You have to decide, what are these decisions? Ask yourself, if someone says you need to do this in order to do this, is that okay with you? And if you're willing to let go of the thing that you thought you were going to get because you don't want to comply or you don't want to follow those rules, that is okay too. That is totally okay. So really, really, really dig in, really ground yourself. This meditation that follows this presentation will help you take that perspective, that higher perspective of Aquarius, so that you can truly build the structures of the Aquarian age that do help everybody, that, the rising tide elevates all boats, so to speak. And that's the ideal that we're going for. Now, Jupiter's going to square onto Saturn. So this is not always a bad energy, but Jupiter is in the building phase of its Jupiter-Saturn cycle. This is a 12-year cycle for Jupiter. And actually, it's a 20-year cycle. I apologize. So we're in that first quarter phase of Jupiter with Saturn. We're going to feel like we want to take action. Jupiter in Taurus is a very nice energy, conjunct the stars of Orion. This is just wonderful. This is really valuing faith, valuing optimism, being thankful for the things that you have around you, and just enjoying and taking in every moment and living it to its fullest. And that authoritative energy squares with that. It says, are you being too selfish? Do you have time to do this? There's things that we have to do. There's things that we have to take care of. And Jupiter's just kind of laying back and chilling in Taurus. I would say that when these two are used constructively, that timing works out perfectly. If it doesn't, you might feel like you're running out of time. So are you over-relaxing? Are you not taking care of your responsibilities? Ask yourself that. Like I said, this is going to be an internal spiritual battle, so to speak, with our own egos and our higher selves over the next several weeks. And so taking time out for the self is important, or you might be succumbing to those authoritative energies as well. So use the concepts of what's good for the great, what's good for the whole, without taking away the individual freedoms of others, because Jupiter actually was very close to squaring the Sun, or they actually might square, because I think this is approaching, or this is separating. Right. So, there's still kind of a T-square almost energy there, even though it's subtle and they don't actually make the line. So it's for the self, for the greater good. Where's that expansive energy? Where's that faith? All right. Now, when you're looking at lunar energy, you also want to look at the nodes. Like I said, in the next new moon will be right here on the nodes. It will be a solar eclipse on the south node, and the next full moon, which will be in Aquarius, I want to say, I think it will, on the 17th will be a lunar eclipse. So we are in it. After this day, we are in the eclipse season. So here's the nodes. We have the south node continuing its transit through Virgo, not quite in Leo yet. And Venus is conjunct this south node. So I've done extensive deep dives, conversations, exploration into Venus energy. I specialize with Venus readings, Venus forecasts. Venus for me is the light of our creation. She attains enlightenment through experiencing the senses. So it's not just learning and gaining wisdom, it's feeling it, it's sensing it, it's moving into its energy. It's almost being possessed by the thing so that you can feel what it's about. And the south node can be very draining. So Virgo can also be very draining for Venus. However, it's an opportunity to draw on our talents, to really go. This is more dig deep energy, so that you can pull in from the elements, from the earth, from the energy of matter, from Gaia's spirit, pull it up and through you to accentuate your strengths, to highlight the things that you do well. Virgo is the birthing mother sky goddess. It's the energy of nurturing energy into matter through a gestational process, but also nurturing matter back into energy through a death and rebirth process. Okay, so this is Phoenix type energy. This is at the south node. And this is what this eclipse is going to be about, feeling into that. So Venus is giving us a clue of what the next eclipse is going to feel like. Opposing the north node, which is in Pisces, which is oneness, which is universal love and oneness. It's the healing. It's the collective purging of our old wounds, healing generational trauma, upgrading our DNA so that we can fully integrate fourth density light that's coming through and absorbing the ether around Earth. Lilith is also going to trine onto the North Node. So this is, Lilith is actually almost in Scorpio energy. She's right there between the scales and the claws of the constellation of Scorpio. So she's gone through the Hall of Two Truths, which is Libra. She's been on trial. She's had the judgments made on her. And so now she's going to go through an intense period of healing within the next day or two, entering the stars of Scorpio. So instinctually, we've done the work, and now it's time for the healing. And that's where she's taking us. That's what this universal flow towards love and oneness is about. It's healing the collective. And we have a ton of supportive energy for this on the spiritual level. This is the battleground, and here's the support. Okay, if you guys can see this, we have like a triple trine here, a triple sextile double trine energy. That's what we have, and it's with the outer solar system luminaries, which tend to be more spiritually soul focused. So you've got Uranus here, Neptune here, Pluto here, and Lilith here. This has been surrendering to the metamorphosis while surrendering to the transformation. That's these two. So there's a metamorphic transformation that we literally have to surrender to. And we instinctually know how to do it. Like our souls know, our higher souls know, our higher selves know exactly where we need to go. And all of this, everything that's going to be happening with these personal planets over the next month or so is for this highest good. So really focus on this. See where this lies in your chart as opposed to this new moon. See what you're working with. So very supportive energy there. Mercury will be making a quick square to Uranus, meaning that there's going to be a tension between how we want to express ourselves in a communicative sense with the new individual that we are grounding ourselves into. Who are we becoming? And how do we express that? We're going to have to ask ourselves that question this round too. And that also just makes sense, because if you think about all the energy and information that's coming at us, we have to discern how we value that as individuals. So that will come in. You'll feel that. But again, you have this safety net. This just feels like a cosmic safety net for us. You know, and then you've got this trine energy here to Uranus and Pluto. So unexpected transformations, unusual metamorphosis. And the potential of healing. So all that's our safety net right there. Uranus did just go retrograde. So once again, all these planets, with the exception of Lilith, are sort of reflective and internal type energy. Mercury will also trine to Chiron. Chiron's not really aspecting anyone except for Mercury. So it's expressing the healing, acceptance of the wounded self. That really is down to the soul level, which, you know, so acceptance of the wounds, acceptance of the integrated healing. And then Venus trines onto Pluto. So look at that. So this grand trine that was going on last week with Venus and Moon and Uranus and all these guys, this is no longer there. She's separating from Uranus, but she's still in a trine to Pluto. That will break up in a couple of days as she passes over the node. But that's still very nice. That is true Phoenix transformation, like inspiration, the fire of creativity, all that right there. That's what that is. So hopefully you guys have been feeling that. I mean, all the energy of people expressing themselves as the Sun, Moon, and Mercury have been going through. Leo has been really incredible to watch on a collective level. Okay, warriors, what do you say we take a look at this Yod with Mars, and then I'll take you into the meditation activation. So that slide I showed you where we had the Yod and we have the sextile, the two quincunxes, Mars at the silver gate, the reaction is the golden gate. Okay, so You're getting this authoritative energy. You're making the choices based on your authentic self. You have the support of the ascended masters, which is, these outer planets, all in this triple sextile double trine energy. You have an instinctual knowing of your trials and what's true to you. And the healing here can be incredibly transformational, but we have to take the actions. And the actions aren't necessarily external. You might be tempted to make them external, in which case you would have this squaring energy to Neptune. But I think Neptune is actually stopping you. So it's going to feel, if you're focused externally, you're going to feel like you have to take action. But in reality, you can't. You won't be able to see the way forward on an external reaction. You won't be able to physically manifest anything that you're trying to do on a physical level that would require confrontation. The confrontation is all going to be internal, and Neptune's going to force you into that. All right. And it's so important. It's so important for the evolution of our souls towards that cosmic ascension energy. Okay. So I would like to just thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me and listening to this presentation. If you liked this presentation, if you like the way I did it, then I would love a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed and you're lurking, please subscribe. Join the Fellowship of 13 Signs. It's my Facebook group. We're all over there just trying to learn and come up with a standard way to understand the 13 signs in a way that can be useful for people. And for this meditation, you're going to see a candle on the screen, and you will also have music with pure frequencies in the background that I created. That's an original score back there. And it's a quick, I'm just going to talk you through it, walk you through it. And all you need to do is just sort of get in that Zen state. You can stare at the candle, you can close your eyes. But I really want you to just sort of sit and let your body relax and sit in with this energy and really think about how you're going to take spiritual action. What's your campaign? What's your spiritual campaign for the coming months? Because you're going to need it. You're going to need to have a plan, an idea, a strategy to get through it. Okay. So I'm going to end this here and let the meditation play. Thanks again so much for joining me, guys. I will see you live in a few days. We're going to practice our presentation for Archaic. So I hope you'll join me. Until the next time, I love you all. Namaste. So sit in a relaxed position, palms up on your lap, feet firmly on the floor. Close your eyes or soften your gaze on this lit candle and take a slow, deep breath in and out. As you breathe, imagine the bright white light of your prana filling every space of your physical form. And as you breathe out, let all your stress and worries dissipate from your energetic field. And each breath you take, you go deeper and deeper into a more relaxed and receptive state. Breathing in and breathing out. Surrounding you is an energetic field that is quantumly connected to all things. It's connected to all the stars, all the planets, all of space and time, and to all human souls. This field is connected to the past, the present, and the future. As you continue to breathe, slowly and deeply, feel yourself merge with this field. Your physical boundaries merging into the quantum oneness. You are one with this field. You are infinite and timeless. Begin to imagine a pinpoint, bright white light in the center of your chest. This is your magic. This is your access to Source. As you breathe, I invite you now to think of your own personal intention for this lunar cycle that you would like to bring into your reality. It can be anything, something small, something large. You are a powerful creator. I would like to set a collective intention for peace, for prosperity, and the end of conflict to settle over the people of planet Earth. That all souls remember and tap into their divine potential that is their birthright, our birthright. So go ahead and place your personal and collective intentions into this light at the center of your chest. Breathing in and breathing out. Now I will slowly count backwards from 10 to 1 as you continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Let that light at the center of your chest expand into the infinite field that surrounds you. 10. Breathing in and breathing out. Let the light of your intention at the center of your chest expand to the size of your rib cage, brighter and larger. 9. Brighter and brighter, this light expands to the edges of your physical body. 8. Inhaling and exhaling. The intention expands to the walls of the room that you're sitting in right now, filling the entire room. 7. Brighter and more intense, your intention expands to the size of your house. 6. Staying focused, push this orb of intention into the ground and up into the sky and beyond the walls, into the size of a city block. Larger and larger. 5. Yes, you are really doing this. Your single intention will ripple out through all the neighborhoods in the city and town that you live in. 4. You are so powerful. Release your intention into this growing orb of light, now the size of your entire country. 3. Continue to breathe in and out. The orb of light emanating from you now is as large as the planet. 2. Fill the entire solar system. 1. Inhale deeply and exhale as your intention ripples out into the solar system, the galaxy, and into the cosmic web of the universe that we are all a part of. And so it is. Return to your normal breath. Take a moment to bring awareness back into your physical avatar. Move your fingers, move your toes, roll your shoulders, and stretch your arms and legs. One more deep breath in. Exhaling out. Open your eyes when you're ready